Welcome to Star Trek Mission Report.
Two-part finale in Arcadia Ego, part 1 and 2. This episode as well just kind of jumbles back into some disjointed approaches to me.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I was looking through every episode, and there was one writer that was fairly common for most of them. I think Michael, I don't know how you pronounce his last name. Yeah, Chabon.
Yeah.
But then there's sprinkled in, I don't know, 7 or 8 other writers, and a couple episodes are written by something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I think that the biggest drawback when you do that is, you know, you're following an outline at that point, and then you're telling another writer, you know, well, here's the key pieces, go make something up, you know. And,
yeah. Right.
And that can make it a little tougher.
Right. It's like you have an hour to go.
Right. You have an hour to go. And so, but, you know, I mean, they get to, is it Capelius?
Yes.
The home world that the synthetics are on. And, you know, they go through the transwarp conduit, which was pretty cool. Too bad Voyager didn't have that.
Right.
Back in the day. Would have made for a short 7 seasons, though, I guess. So that's fair.
Janeway's like, what the fuck?
Right, exactly. You know, but you know, they get to the point where they're Picard was in sick bay, right?
Yeah, well, the orchids came, which was really trippy. Was really
a
cool thing. Once they get to the planet, when they're brought down by the orchids, basically, it's like a defense system. And
yeah, so basically they're big giant space flowers that you know are basically going to wrap themselves around you and boom, pull you into the atmosphere.
It's the most Star Trek-y thing out of this whole show, I think.
It really was. It
really
reminded
trippy.
me a lot of season 1 of TNG.
Yeah, it's like if they had a massive budget. Here you go, space orchids.
Right.
Like, whoa, that was cool. I thought that was, and again, the visuals amazing.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. We got to hear Picard get close to using profanity when he said "pissing me off."
Yeah.
Which actually I didn't mind that. I thought that was pretty funny because he said it just as grumpy as he's been acting.
Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah, I didn't mind that at all. That was fine. But
yeah, that to me was actually pretty cool. I enjoyed that.
But if he was like, "Don't fuck with me," I would have been like, "What the no?"
Exactly. But too many F words.
Yeah, enough.
And so we get down there. The cube has been pulled down too because it came in.
Yeah, it came into. That's what's funny is all of a sudden everyone has a map to where they went. When it didn't seem like that needed to be more explained, I thought. But I guess the Seven brought the cube in to help them. The Lacerina. Was it Narek? He did something out of character, by the way. He just like started shooting at them.
Yeah,
that was like, you're so secretive. Why are you all of a sudden shooting them? Like, what's your plan? Is there a plan? But the Borg
desperation.
Yeah, right. The Borg cube. I would have been cool to see the Borg cube like fire upon Narek's ship, but like nothing happened. Like basically they all come in. And then the orchids bring him down to the planet, which is the Borg entering the atmosphere. That was a really cool visual. You felt like it was going to destroy the whole planet with the scale, and they're all okay.
Everybody's good. They're totally good.
And you can clearly walk in and find them. It's that easy.
Yeah. And the Borg cube's very small.
Right.
I think it's a 2-room, 1 bath.
It's like a TARDIS. It's a TARDIS.
Right, yeah. It's like a studio apartment.
Yeah, built for tough.
It was cool seeing Eleanor and Picard reunite.
Yeah.
You know, that was awesome. I keep calling him Legolas, but, you know, he...
I like the sword. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was saying I like the sword. Just cut the damn hair. You know, that's all you really need to do is change the hairdo. You don't need. Holy shit, man! What is this? Like.
Yeah, it really feels like a Lord of the Rings character was just written into the script.
Right, because he looks like an elf. He's got the ears.
Yeah, he looks like an elf. That's it.
Just pull that wig off, man. I'm sure it's hot. Like, let's just...
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was... Yeah, they really amped up... you could tell it's coming towards the end because they didn't really talk about... Picard's brain issue was brought up, like, episode 2, I think, and then they didn't really talk about it again. They had that cool moment when he visited Riker and Troy. Troy knew, you know, that was interesting.
Yeah.
That was a really cool moment. I thought Marina Sirtis really acted that well. You know, she conveyed she knew the truth and started, you know, getting emotional about it. That was really cool. But yeah, they really kick it in this episode. Like, I don't know, Stress really made it come about more. You thought he had more time. It's almost like it's written in to be that way.
Right. I know, you know, on the Borg cube, you know, we see 7 of 9 back again, and everybody's happy to see her. That's great. But, you know, thank God Picard's there, because, you know, he asked them to bring up the long-range sensors, which, you know, obviously no one would have thought to do anyway, I'm sure, without Picard. But once they're activated, you know, they see the fleet of 218 Romulan warbirds, which is just, you know, again, overkill.
Holy shit, yeah. Like, maybe 5 or 10 would be good. I don't think we need fucking 200. And again, it screws up the whole, like, they really needed Starfleet's help to evacuate. They have all these ships. What the hell?
Right.
It's like...
yeah, they must have repopulated just fine.
It's that copy and paste feature, you know, all the effects artists do now. It's like, we just gotta, you know, oh my God. Like, Star Wars does it too. Like, way, just too much. Like, you would have me at 10. We don't need hundreds of ships.
Yeah, it was just a lot. That was crazy town.
Yeah, that was a little, and there's a lot of moments in these 3 episodes, the last 3 we're covering here, kind of where time seems to stop, even though shit's coming, you know. It's
right.
Like, do we have time for all this? You know, I think
it's like going to the ready room for, you know, a few meetings.
Right.
Well, you're being fired on, you know. I mean, I get it.
Right. Well, I guess the writers didn't like the idea of star dates, so I think that would have been cool to have a log. Like, that would have been really neat to have Picard have a log of this whole show. Like, I think that would have made things so much better. You wouldn't even have to have a lot of exposition scenes. He could probably do that through his log, and you could just go from there. But hopefully they'll do that next season. That's funny. Picard's the only one who can think of the sensors.
And, you know, when we walk through the rest of this episode, which, you know, I'll do fairly quickly just because it bleeds into the next one, but, you know, my 2 other minor complaints is, you know, Picard tells Eleanor, or Legolas, you know, about his illness and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Tells him that the XBs need him now more than Picard does.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, if we're going through all that crap to try to find someone to help protect you, keep ditching him off entirely. You know, and...
yeah, like, you don't even need the character. You could have totally wrote that character off, basically.
Right. Yeah, why is this person here except for just some cool fight moves? I mean...
Yeah.
I don't know if they're planning an action figure or what, but... I mean, I like the character. I really do.
I'll buy it for $1. I don't know.
You're right, you know, but I just don't...
Yeah.
I don't know. That was just kind of... It just felt weird again to me. You know, he's going to do his own thing, but... you know, once we finally get to the station there, you get to see a lot of the synths.
Yeah.
You know, and some of them are very robotic-like, and...
I like that touch. That was nice.
Yeah, I did too. And you get to see the other Soji.
Yeah. Sutra?
And she's quite intense.
Yeah, that was a nice surprise. I was like, wow, she looks like Data. Like, that's really cool look. Like, and it's her. It's like, man, and she really did a good job performing that part. Like, and I think you knew from the start she was not really good.
Right.
She's more Lord's daughter than anything.
Yeah, for sure. And she does the mind meld.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about that?
I didn't like it.
I did not like it either.
Unless she's organic in any way, but that didn't make any damn sense. Yeah. And then
I mean, the Vulcans are telepathic. I mean,
yeah,
that really rewrote a lot of, continuity there.
Right, yeah. Maybe she had Bluetooth and it was very advanced. That could have been something they talked about. But yeah, it was like, we get to meet another soon because, I thought that was going to be Data. I thought that was Brent, when he's playing that character. I was like, oh my God, Data's human. Like, this is what I wanted. This is awesome. But no, he's just another soon because we need another soon. And so, but he was like saying, oh, Sutra, she's a hobbyist of Vulcan culture and she's mastered the mind meld. I'm just like, what?
Yeah. So it's like, oh, great. Can I take maybe a community ed class to do a Vulcan nerve pinch? That'd be great.
Yeah, right. 101. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't,
I don't know. So, I mean, the rest of it, in a nutshell, Sutra turns out to be kind of a, fly in the ointment for everyone else. Breaks out, what's his name, Mark?
Narek?
Yeah.
Mark? No one cares about his name.
No one cares, right? It doesn't matter. Him and his sister, I mean, nobody cares.
Incest brother, come here.
Right, yeah. So she breaks out Mark, and they end up killing the one.
Yeah.
Which was just crazy because, I thought that one was actually an interesting sense, the way they portrayed her, and that was really cool. But she's dead now, so why not?
You can kill him by just stabbing him in the eye too. Like, it felt like, and I'm sure she had an off switch. Couldn't you have just done that? Like, why'd you have to be so barbaric about it?
Right. I mean, they took Data apart 1,000 times in TNG.
Right. He got shot at. I think she could take a little knife through the eye. That's just odd.
Right.
Murder.
I don't know. That was a weird episode to me for several reasons. We had Picard though trying to get a hold of Starfleet and letting them know about the attack in the impending attack of the Romulans and trying to get them help, which I don't think they didn't show him getting a response, did they?
No. I think they have AT&T there, and it just takes a little bit of time. It's like AOL, the old days.
Right, that's right.
It was dialing up, so he just hoped it went out and.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Oh my God, it's funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
It had a lot of cool build-up, the episode did. What I have a problem with is they know time's running out, right? Well, I guess they don't know the ships are coming yet, but they're like, okay, Synthville's over there, Borg Cube over here. Let's go over and see how they're doing on the Borg Cube. Thinking the scale it would be like it's a long walk, for one. You get there, because their ship's down, the Lastrina's down.
Yeah.
You get over there to the Borg Cube. They walk right into, where everyone's at. And you just felt like it's just so convenient. But you get 7 again, right? And you're like, yes, 7. I love 7. And they're just like, okay, cool, bye. I'm just like, why didn't they bring them with them? Like,
go save the universe.
Yeah, what the? I hate that. That's just not good, in my opinion.
No. It was dumb.
I think it's like a distraction, like, 7 and 9, sweet. What are we gonna do? Nothing. We're just gonna say hi and we're gonna leave, and then we won't see him again for a bit.
Yeah.
Like, what?
And you're right. It's all very small. It's like there was a 600-yard area in which everything happens on this planet.
Right.
It was just, I don't know.
Yeah, and it just feels like when you get, all you get is hero moments from these characters, which I appreciate, but they don't feel like they're earned. Like.
Right.
They get to the cube and Seven's kicking bodies off the platform, which it's cool. And she's like, "What are you doing here?" And da 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 da. Like, that just felt like, did we miss something? Was there a scene that was cut out that set this up better? I don't know, but you can say nitpicking.
I want to see the sci-fi show that the ship crashes onto a world and you're supposed to find a city, but it's like on the other side of the world, and it takes the entire season just to get them to that town.
Nice. Better copyright that.
but it's just, it'll never happen because it's not convenient,
Right. They're
it's
just
like,
walking.
oh, thank God my ship crashed on this huge, giant Jupiter-like planet, but I could see the city from here,
Right.
Oh, how lucky. I'll buy a lottery ticket, too.
There you go. Just hitchhike.
Yeah, hitchhike,
like it.
I don't know. The one thing that I thought was cool from a dialogue perspective was when Soji, Picard kind of makes the plea on what to do, and Soji basically says that their people cannot be his means of redemption, and I thought that was a pretty cool kind of confrontation and kind of a character growth moment for Soji, even though that's not the answer Picard wanted to hear, but it was they send them into house arrest, and poof, we we go to Commodore O.
Yeah, Picard's speech just wasn't that good, It felt like this is supposed to be a speech to win, everyone over. It just felt really weak, and if I was there, I'd be with the other team. I think nah, we're good.
Yeah, this wasn't an Independence Day speech, it was just kind of...
Yeah, it's like, you're not moving me, man. This is weak sauce.
Yeah, it's total weak sauce.
Come on, Picard.
And, we get to the end, and, poof, the 218 ships show up, right?
Right. Yeah, so part 2 of the episode, Narek, he makes his way from...
Mark.
Marky Mark.
Mark.
Makes his way from the Synthville to the Borg again, walks right into a convenient room that, he's trying to avoid all the XBs and so on, and Eleanor and Seven are talking, and it's kind of weird because Eleanor's like, you think these XBs should just die? And Seven's like, well, I'm an XB, you think I should die? And he's like, no, I'll miss you. And it just felt like, I don't think we got enough time for you guys to really get to know each other. It just...
Right.
Now, if they would have inserted, they said this show represents 20 hours or so on, I would buy that. But it goes by so quickly, you don't buy it. It's like, it's not earned for him to say that to me. Just felt out of character. He doesn't even know. And when we first meet
him, he hates everything anyway, and now he's just this big, giant, nice guy.
Right. And of course, Mark, he's looking for his grenades because, he wants to blow some shit up, and runs into his sister, Narissa.
Oh, Melissa and Mark.
Melissa and Mark. Oh my God, that's like a John Kruger song or whatever. Jack and Diane. Yeah. So how you doing? She's they're getting reacquainted, and she says, "Did you fuck any of the synths?" I was just like, Jesus, when she said that. What
here we go again.
Why? This is so dumb. I was in on what they were talking about until she asked that stupid ass question, "Do you fuck any of them?" I'm like, really? That's so dumb. That's like a teenager wrote it or something. I don't.
Yeah, they were really going for that Game of Thrones type plot, and
right.
It was a total misfire. I mean,
right.
I don't know.
It was, and then over on the La Serena, Rios and Raffi are playing with this, which we didn't talk about, but they get this magical tool from Synthville, which I think is really stupid. I'm sorry. It just felt like it was like a magic wand for Star Trek. It just didn't. There's no explanation. And
right. It's from the Harry Potter verse.
It's like you just imagine. John Lennon came through and was like, imagine anything. And
yeah.
So did the synths make this? Did it come from the people who were there on the planet when they came to establish a synth compound, whatever? Just really a lot more questions than answers.
It had the Stark Industries logo on it.
That would have been cool. Nanotech. It's a wand, basically. Use your imagination, and then it gets fixed, and it just felt really out of place, And then of course the ship's all fixed, and everything's looking up, And then meanwhile, back in Synthville, Dr. Soon, he's downloading memories from the android Narek or Mark, and Sutra killed. He doesn't know they killed her yet, which is funny because I think Sutra would be like, I think I should probably stop him from doing that, because he's gonna find out I killed her.
Right.
Girardi is doing this self-sacrifice, which I didn't understand entirely. They've kind of made her into a mother figure, which it's kind of a stretch, but it's just, I don't really understand all of it. And of course she proclaims she isn't and calls Soon an asshole behind his back. She's transferring, I don't know if she's transferring her mind to the golem, but she's helping Soon with this whole golem thing, which is a setup for,
right.
I don't know who, but something, right?
Probably Bruce Maddox.
Yeah, they're gonna bring him back.
Yeah,
good old Bruce. So yeah, Narek has a change of heart, and he comes to La Serena, and he's like, "Hey, let's go blow this beacon up," And then, they have their doubts about him. They decide to have a campfire.
Yeah.
And he explains again why Romulans fear synths, and they get into the religious mythology and all that stuff. I like to think that there's an overcast of darkness for them to do that, because otherwise it's like, we don't have a lot of time here, guys. Why are we having these campfires and shit? Like, I like the scenery, but it just feels like, hey, we're in a rush right now. This beacon's being built, and maybe we should take the ship there and crash it into the beacon, shoot it. I don't know.
Right.
Like, why do we need grenades? We just launched the ship over there. So Girardi,
they gave Mark something to do.
Right. So they're like, hey, we got a plan. Let's go over and let's go blow this beacon up, and get the hell out of here, kid. And Picard and Girardi, she helps Picard escape. They get into La Serena and they head up to space to greet the Romulans, trying to figure out what the hell they're gonna do. He's trying to write a speech in his head, He's having brain problems, of course. Down in Synthville, the Soon works with the A-Team, Rios and everybody, to try to blow up this damn beacon, and it doesn't go well, of course. Soji catches the bomb and just throws it up, and she's just like, not today. She's DJing the control panel at the ground floor, and Soon just shuts Suture off, which I was like, really? You just could have done that the whole time? It just felt, it was such a build-up. I thought he was going to die. I thought she was going to kill him for sure. And he just confronts her and basically tells him, I know what you did and all that, turns her off with a pen. And no one around them cares. So, they're just standing there, all the machines. They don't really talk about that. Just kind of ignore it.
Yeah.
And then, Picard's hoping, of course, his Starfleet message went through. They have CenturyLink, AOL, maybe Mediacom. It's just taking some time. So he's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. So Girardi's like, hey, how about the Picard maneuver? And that was funny, because we know the Picard maneuver is really just like, I think it's mostly Patrick Stewart adjusting his top of his spacesuit back in the TNG days. And
right.
So it's kind of like a fan thing. And but yeah, it's actually a real maneuver he did with the Stargazer, making the ship appear in two places at once. So they do the same with La Serena with the magical wand device from Stark Industries. Girardi's face gets multiplied to show what it can do, which scares the shit out of you, because you're like, poor Bruce, that's what he saw before he died. But anyway, it's all good. She just killed one guy. We're all happy. She's great.
No biggie.
She's great. We're gonna,
She's good again.
We're gonna have drinks. This is fabulous.
Yay.
So back on the Borg cube, you get to have a nice standoff with Seven and Narissa, and she kicks the bitch off the platform, which was awesome. She's like, this is for Hugh. That was awesome. I didn't hear a thump, though. Given her history with beaming out, I'm thinking she's still alive. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I really hope not, because then it's just a waste of, Seven kicking her ass.
I just wish there was a thump.
I hope she's really dead.
Should have just been a really violent death. She just hit so many things on the way down.
Yeah, and got impaled. I was thinking of that, too. That would even be cooler.
And just slid off the sharp object and then fell again.
Exactly. Bye, Melissa.
We'll miss you. Not really. Terrible character.
Yeah.
Evil bitch.
Exactly.
Right. So the Picard maneuver they multiply the La Serena, and it looks like it's gonna work, and then they get shot, and it's like, just like a lot of things introduced in the show, it's, oh, this is cool, and then no, it doesn't work anymore. They're back to square one, so they're just sitting there adrift basically. And then all the space rockets have come out to play, and they've been shot down because there's like over 200 ships, so they'll definitely take them down easily. But yeah, we get a nice surprise by Captain Riker. His fleet of ships, newly made Starfleet ships, which kind of generic, but there's not like a lot of detail on them. He was clearly, I think, on a redressed disco bridge, which I get it for the budget sake. You gotta make, because that's the problem with the show. It was filmed in California, so I don't think that's why you didn't get a lot of sets, I think, and you got a lot of desert planets and stuff, because they're like, let's just go shoot something out in the backyard here and make it work.
Yeah, then go to the Spawn Ranch where Manson lived and just film over there.
That's right. But I get it. Picard, Stewart's old. He doesn't want to go to Canada. I get it, to film. And I guess Riker wasn't supposed to be in this. Admiral Fuckoff was supposed to save the day. And I guess they shot her scene, and they just decided in the last second to switch it out and have Riker show up, which I welcomed it. I thought it was pretty cool. I was excited to see him on the bridge again, and he, his acting chops are still great, I think. And
yeah, he plays authoritative still very, very well, and
like I want that
one
show.
Of my favorite scenes.
If he wasn't busy with directing, like, give me a show of that. Like, I'm all for it. Like, I think we should have got a Titan show, but who knows? Maybe he'll get a little bit more as he gets his feet wet more with acting again. Maybe he'll do more. Hopefully, season 2, I hope to see a lot of people back. But that was, the new ships, they look kind of cool. They're definitely copy and paste. It's like you got 200, we got 300. Paste.
Right.
So yeah, there's a little standoff there, and Picard's trying to keep telling Soji to turn the beacon off, and she's like, no, and he's like, okay, I'll call you back, and
yeah, exactly.
The portal gets opened up, and the Matrix comes through a little bit, which that really, I don't like that. I would have been more of a fan if nothing came through. It was just kind of up to you. I think a lot of that would have been better, just in your mind, like, did something come out of it? Did it not?
I would have liked to have seen a shit ton of Borg come out of it.
That would have been, like a beehive. Like, you just kicked open a beehive, and they're just like, yeah, that would have been something. Yeah, I didn't like this. And maybe it was a very advanced Borg. I don't know. It just, were you a fan of this tentacle metallic octopus from Godzilla?
No, I just thought to myself, no.
Why?
Oh, look, it's a metal snake.
Right.
I'm scared.
And no one's reacting to it, too. None of the Starfleet ships or the Romulan ships. It's like, you think they'd be firing at it or something, Like,
right.
It's just
weird.
Anyway, let's just stare each other down like it's high noon, and yeah.
Yeah, in our 450 total ships on the screen.
Right. It's like a glitch. It would have been cool to see old ships too, like Picard said in the beginning, they were trying to do like Dunkirk, right? To rescue, like, that would have been cool to see old ass ships, but I think it's the new creators' fault. They don't want to give any credit much, they'll give you the TNG Enterprise, that's about it, but they're going to use Discovery shuttles because they made those and other things like that. So that would have been really cool to see some old school ships with some new stuff like that. And maybe they didn't have enough time, because I think a lot of this sadly was redressed or redone because it didn't make sense, and they just didn't have the time. They had to frantically put everything together to make it kind of more sense. So Picard finally gets Soji to turn the beacon off. I didn't think his speech was that great, but it worked, so that's all that matters. She destroys the control panel, and then Riker's fleet are like, have a nice rapport with Romulan, who Commodore O, I guess she's a General O now for Romulans, so she just like up and left Starfleet. I don't know if they're gonna explore trying to charge her with anything.
Yeah, she just left her cover,
Yeah, right. She's just new phone. Who this? Yeah, she wasn't given a lot to do. I mean, I guess she's just on a bridge, and Riker didn't do too much, I guess, either. But yeah, it kind of wish they would have explored more of that. I get Riker because that was like a last minute thing, but tells her we're happy to escort you out of here.
Right.
Basically saying we're gonna escort you out of here. It's not a choice. It's gonna happen. Tells Picard and everybody bye because Picard's dying, and he's not gonna tell Riker. His friend he had for all these years. He's just like, thanks, Will. See you later. And then he croaks, basically. And I thought that was a missed opportunity. That really would have been cool for Riker to be with him when he died. Somebody we knew to be with him. He could have been like, hey, Will, I'm about to die. Do you mind sticking around for a tear or two?
Right.
Like that. But yeah, that just felt like Riker's like, all right, we got to go. Like, he's in a hurry. Like, oh, shit, Troy's making dinner. I got to get back. Playtime's over.
Yeah, my pizza's getting burnt.
He's not even wearing pants. He's like, I gotta go. I do like the new uniforms though. It has that cool texture to it. It's not cloth. It feels like it's something. I don't know. I'm digging that. I think that's really cool.
I thought they looked cool.
I do. So yeah, Picard dies, and everyone's very upset. These people only knew him for 3 weeks, so they're very upset about it. I pretty much suspected he was going to go into the Golem thing. Rios and Seven have they have a moment. You're not really sure where that's going, but they're all just trying to deal with. They're all grieving for Picard basically, and of course you get a nice scene with Picard and Data in the darkened study of the Chateau Picard, which was I thought this was very strong. This whole scene with him and Data, I thought that was really pretty solid. Turns out Data's consciousness has survived all this time. He wasn't really dead per se, I guess, ever since Nemesis, so he didn't really get a closure on death. He just kind of was resurrected. His mind was anyway, and it was a great scene. I was really glued to my phone because I usually watch it on my phone. It's pretty sad, but come to find out, Data wants to die again. I mean, he probably didn't want to die the first time, but I was like, we came all this way and he's gonna die again? Like, damn it. It's like, Picard, tell him no. But he's like, Picard, when you return to your new body, which is so many new questions will be raised about this whole new body thing.
Right.
Yeah, can you kill me, unplug my program, or my consciousness, if you will. My question was, did you think his consciousness reached Picard through his dreams? Because how was that all, explained? It just felt like.
Yeah, I don't know, and if they want us to believe that that's the answer, I don't know if I like that answer.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it just felt another weak moment. Like, what was it all about?
Yeah.
I would think it would have been more interesting if Picard was there the whole time, maybe. But then again, I don't know. It's so weird. Like, you have more questions than answers,
Right.
They finally have a nice farewell with each other. They didn't get the chance to in Nemesis, And I guess it was hard for them to do that scene. It took a couple takes to get it right. And so, yeah, Picard's reborn into the Golem body. They didn't bother to give him any powers or anything or make him look younger, which why, because Stewart's got to stay on the show, and they're not going to de-age him all the time. But yeah,
we didn't give you any superpowers.
Yeah, yeah, we didn't give you anything. You're still going to die soon, so it's all right. Live for the moment.
They use the word superpowers, like, all right.
Oh, again, definitely modern day writers here who haven't probably dived into a lot of other writings from the past. Yeah, I mean that is the thing to think of though. The generation of writers who wrote old Trek that we love, their inspirations from older writers who were very influential. They set the stage, the tone, how to do things, and now you got this new generation who's probably learned a lot off the internet and video games and stuff like that. So it's just
exactly,
it's like, oh god. But yeah, so it looks like he has more spunk, I would say. He was just kind of old manning it, and maybe that was intentional. I'd like to think it was, but gets used to his new body a little bit, has a little breakfast with everybody. Everyone's, everything's fine. We're all happy. And, Data's end finally comes. Blue Sky is sung by the actress who plays Soji. Forgive me, I don't know her name offhand. Incredible voice.
Yeah,
very powerful.
Voice.
Very powerful singing there, really moving. And I've listened to it by itself through YouTube. It's really, really good. Data, he's in his robe, in his consciousness, I guess. He's in Picard's Chateau Picard, which I'm like, wouldn't he be in his own place? Like, again, more questions. I don't know. But yeah, he's drinking some wine, and Picard basically begins unplugging Data's USB drives. That's what they look like.
Exactly.
And as he does that, Data ages and dies, and then you got the TNG Picard holding his hand as he dies on a couch, which I thought it was really, really cool. Kind of a "I'm not crying, you are" moment. I did think, like, when it sucked, Picard just plugged him back in, and it's like, and he just like became Data again. He's like, son of a bitch.
Right. I mean, all you have to do is plug those things back in.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, it's technology, right? You could just plug it back in. And Data's like, damn it. I want to die. I want to die. Data, I guess, actually died, I guess. I've heard Spiner doesn't want to play Data again. I understand that. I would like to see Lore again, though. I think, because that's out there. That should have been... I think that would have been cool for them to explore Lore. Like, they didn't have Data around to use to make these machines, so they had to use Lore, but they didn't tell you that.
Right.
Like, that would have been really interesting, I think. Really interesting. But, yeah, so... At the end of all of this, the crew's assembled. Everyone's just loving each other. Girardi, she's a cold-blooded murderer, but hey, let me kiss Rios. Everything's good. We got our comm badges. I'd like to think time has passed from when Picard got the new body to them leaving, because so much has changed in a heartbeat. Like, the synth ban was removed. You don't really get a Borg cube conclusion, because you see Seven on the ship, Dolores Serena, and
right.
She seems to be romantically linked to Raffi, and to me that just felt like out of nowhere, but I'd like to think there was passage of time. So right. I'm not exactly against it. I was at first, because I thought it was just thrown in there for a representation grab, like, let's just take something that doesn't make sense and throw it in there just to get right. more people to like this, and get distracted by how kind of the writing, how weak it is in parts. I'm not against it. I just felt like it came out of nowhere, and
yeah,
it.
I would have liked to see it. I mean, I wouldn't mind it. I don't mind it in general, but I would have really bought into it more if there was a couple scenes with them where there was some sort of, interaction or anything.
Right.
But there was no setup.
Right. Exactly. That's just my complaint. It just felt like it was just thrown in there without much thought, other than, hey, let's have some representation, even though they already have a lot of that. And I think you should put your characters first before you get, and not make that be the interesting factor of them. That should be right. like an added bonus, if you will. I'm not against it. Just felt like out of left field, like, what the hell? It's just kind of like Picard making out with Rios all of a sudden, or Eleanor. Like, wait a minute, what?
Right.
What did I miss here? They're all one happy family, looks like, and they warp out of there, and engage. I still have an issue with Girardi with the murder thing. Do you think that season 2 they can probably improve things? Do you think they'll kind of just skip over this whole she murdered Bruce Maddox thing, or what?
Yeah, I mean, if the writing continues like it did this season, I think you probably won't even hear anything else about it.
Right. Yeah,
as we jump from thing to thing, and
consequences will save, I think, the show for season 2.
Right.
If we actually, they go to DS12 and drop her ass off.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. It was kind of a stretch for her to say, "Oh, poisoned her mind," and it just felt like it was like someone who was caught killing somebody, and they're like, "I got to blame somebody." Did it? She made me kill him.
Yeah.
Like, really? All right, okay. You're forgiven. Let's we trust you now. All I gotta say is, Rios, watch your back. Don't piss her off.
Right, exactly.
Or hell, you don't even have to do anything. She'll just kill you. So, full crew now they have does fix the issue with the holograms. I still wish we would have seen the holograms throughout the show. They dropped that idea too many times, and it just kind of was brought back for convenience.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got a new showrunner for season 2, so things are looking up. I think head writer is Mark Menardin. He has done a podcast with Kevin Smith. He's a really good writer, has a lot of great ideas. He's a major Star Trek fan, so that's very hopeful there. He wrote for Castle Rock and Treadstone. He actually left Treadstone, which is like a Bourne Identity spin-off series. He left that show for this show because he's like, I always wanted to be on Trek. So I really hope Kurtzman doesn't push against them too much on what they want to do. I hope he just gets out of their damn way and lets them run with things. And yeah, we got Whoopi coming back as Guinan. That's very exciting. Hopefully it won't be a downer. She's like a crack addict now or something.
Exactly.
Which is another thing that reminds me is Raffi. Her addictions come and go, don't they? Like, it's never brought up again, but then it is, and it's just like really confused. But yeah, it's been picked up for a season 2 and 3, and they'll be shooting back to back. So probably get that 2021, 2022, I imagine. So very excited, very excited. Not perfect. I think you can sit back and not be critical of it and enjoy it. But when you start thinking of some of the things they've presented, there's a lot of wonder, if you will.
Right.
But,
yeah, I mean, to me, there was like a lot of amazing parts, and then just some scratch your head things that, I don't think fit.
Exactly. But overall, it was a good show. I look forward to Discovery Season 3. I hope it's going to be the best one yet. Yeah, we got a little tease at the beginning of this last episode of Vernon waving the torn up Federation flag, I believe. So that's coming. I just hope she's not the answer to everyone's problems. That gets a little old to me. I think everyone can contribute. But I guess it's like Picard, like only him can think of the sensors for the Borg cube, and I think everyone needs to be able to have a brain on the show and explore that.
Chip in just a little.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah. But overall, did you like the season and all that?
Yeah, overall I liked it a lot. It was just, I would rewatch it again.
Yeah, for sure. Love to see a fan edit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously a big 7 and 9 fan. Seeing Picard is just amazing. The Riker Troy parts. Yeah, there was some good stuff, but I don't know. I really hope it's not as disjointed for a season 2.
Yes, I totally agree. I hopefully they got enough time they should have enough time now to craft things. We got the COVID thing happening, so I think they're meeting now, and hopefully they'll have a good idea. They could have a really good arc if they have seasons 2 and 3 back to back.
Right.
I look forward to that, and I hope they bring in Tasha Yar's Romulan daughter, which I thought was piloting that old school Romulan ship. That would have been really cool reveal for the last episode.
Yeah, for sure.
Bring back characters like that, I say. But yeah, Picard is dead. I'd say that's safe to say. This really isn't Picard anymore. Do you think that? I mean, he doesn't have the soul, he has the brain, but maybe that's a question itself that, Trek has proposed so many times about living beings, but yeah, how do you feel all about that artificial Picard? He's no longer...
I think they really tried to build it up so it's just like, oh hey, you're alive again, nothing new with your body, so you're just going to be a normal person. And so I don't think we're going to see anything that's different.
Yeah. It would be
at
interesting.
All.
Yeah. Which is like, couldn't that wand fix his brain problem before he died?
Yeah, that's all it does. Is it fixes his brain problem so he can live.
Imagine. Yeah. I don't want to see that device anymore.
Yeah.
A little too hocus pocus for my taste for Star Trek.
I want to see him take off his shirt and maybe like have a boob on his back or something weird.
Yeah.
And everybody just kind of laughs in the background.
Touch it. Yes. So, yeah, this was fun. And, yeah, we will be back. Everyone out there, stay safe. Stay home if you can. The future is hopeful. If anything, Star Trek has taught us that it is that. Until we got to Picard, that is. But
right, but we'll still pretend it is.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, with that said, I'm Josh.
I'm Steve.
Two to beam out.